hopefully today I don't make any dumb route mistakes. I've got my route actually next to me today so I can see it quite clearly. Case 3 is going to be the big question. If I can just be a little bit green at the beginning, this beginning game, then I could possibly pull out a very good PB off of this. Also, damn it, the game is loud. Louder than I thought it was going to be. I might actually reset. I didn't think the game would be this loud. Sorry for the false start still. Just not happy with my volume in the games. It's an easy reset though. I say easy reset, but it's not that hard. It's a bit hard to do it. Just reset the game. It should be still at the current state. Okay, that's much better. Do we start with the tutorial case? Oh gosh. The tutorial is pretty straightforward. It's a little bit of a simple puzzle with an obvious solution. But Cromwell insists on giving us a tutorial, and we have to keep telling him, no, we're fine, we know what we're doing. The good thing with Touch Detective is that it's a relatively relaxed speedrun compared to Simpsons Hit and Run. So it's something where I can chat a lot more, talk about the run, and just discuss things in general about it. Like overall, Touch Detective, it's relatively simple because it is point and click, but at the same time there's a bit of optimization to it. And a couple of glitches that I think could be exploited a lot further. Mainly teleport glitch. Right now I've only been able to produce it in 2 areas, and only 1 area consistently. I need to experiment a lot more with that, possibly using save states. But yeah, tutorial basically Cromwell insists, and we have to tell him no 4 times in order to actually start without a tutorial. And oddly enough, you'd think that it'd just be faster to get the tutorial, but oh no, it is not. It's something like 30 seconds to a minute, roughly, I think, if you accept the tutorial on the first question. Yeah, one of the bigger differences between like NE% and NG+, for example, is touchless that Mackenzie's talking about right now, where she touches a variety of things and rates them based on their texture and stuff and how they feel. In NG+, everything has already been tapped and collected, so there's no actual prompt to deal with. In NE%, you have to deal with it. Let's just get this split right. Hey, we're green. But yeah, in NG+, because whenever you tap something that's in the touch list, you get a bit of a spiel from Mackenzie like, oh, this item feels like this. I'm going to add it to the touch list. And I think you have to collect 8 of the 50 items just as part of the normal game. The rest of them you sort of discover on your own, but you can accidentally run into a few of them if you're not careful, because they'll be right in the middle of the path that you're trying to move on. NG+, you don't have to worry about that, you can be a lot more direct, and you have those 8 other parts cut out. And with that, tutorial's done, we're on to the first case. Investigating a robbery. Specifically a robbery of Penelope's dreams. And honestly, something that's quite surprising, but something that I'm going to need to test soon, is English versus Japanese. Because right now, you'd think that because it's spelling out every single text bubble in order, you'd think that Japanese would be quicker, just because less characters, less scrolling, less typing out every single text message. But in actuality, at least for the tutorial, which has a fair bit of dialogue itself, there isn't actually much of a difference. I was getting 249s in Japanese as well as English. I'd obviously need to investigate it a lot more, but if Japanese is not much faster, honestly, I think English is the way to go. And we basically are getting introduced to a few of our friends and a few main characters for the story, like Penelope and Chloe. Penelope, the little bit of a ditz, and Chloe, the serious detective who still believes in fairy tales. And Cromwell, our nice butler. Penelope forgets her own crime that happened to her. Also, I'm shocked to see Touch Detective still jumping above its cap on OBS in terms of sound. Like, I do feel a little bit bad for Penelope because honestly, she feels horrible a little bit here because Chloe's calling her weird. And she sort of goes like, everyone's always saying I'm weird. And I just always feel so sad. And Chloe just honestly doesn't care. And it's just like, hey, your whole song about wondering why people call you weird is a weird thing. And honestly, I will say that while the speedrun isn't like as intensive as something like Shah, there is a little bit of an interesting route and it does differ a lot from the casual playthrough. In the sense that with the casual playthrough, you'd be playing a variety of different, talking to a wide variety of people, asking all these different options to get as much information as possible. But in the speedrun, we just go to very specific people who advance the storyline and pick very specific options. Like here, we could have asked all 3 questions, gotten a bunch of information from Penelope, but all we need to do is ask that 3rd option, and it lets us continue on in the story. Bada bing, bada boom. And there we go. We're well into the case now. Now it's time to go help Cromwell make his machine so we can investigate Penelope's dreams. If I remember correctly, it's condominium first. I need to talk to Beatrice. Oh yeah, I've got the notes. But generally the first 2 cases, I remember quite well the routes. It's going to be recent changes. Because in recent changes, Beatrice tells us about Daisy, a new person who's living here, right above Penelope. By also telling us about where Daisy works, she lets us ultimately travel to the shopping plaza from now on. So we needed to just have that brief little exchange with her in order to unlock that location for later. But now we're going to stop by Penelope. But instead of interrogating her about her crime, we're just going to steal her pillar and leave, because it's one of the items Cromwell needs. And see a little spiel like that. Now we go to the shopping plaza to get the second item. And while we're here, we'll pick up the mushroom cookies that we need for the second part of this case. And there we go. That's item number 2. Item number 3 is back at the office, but we need to do one thing beforehand. We need to go confront Daisy. Okay. Now, Dreams or Penelope do the exact same thing in the end, but Penelope is a little bit quicker because she jumps straight to the fact that we're asking on Penelope's behalf. Whereas if we said Dreams, she has a little bit of a rant beforehand. Whereas this way, she just essentially jumps straight to the, oh, you're asking us questions on behalf of Penelope. Just get the hell out. There we go, we got all 3 items. And of course you got to present the cake first, because out of all of the spiels Cromwell gives about each item, the cake is by far the longest. So he'll give a spiel like that each time we give him an item, and the first one he always gives the same spiel about just the invention in general, and that's quicker than the cake. There we go. We've got our little invention. And the reason we needed to talk to Daisy earlier was so that this event would happen now. So that Daisy would appear upstairs. So then we go question Daisy again. Penelope being a little brat and whacking on her roof because to annoy her neighbour above, or communicate with her neighbour above, but inevitably just annoys the shit out of her, like anyone who's lived in an apartment and dealt with someone below them. Now we get the same options again, Dreams and Penelope. This time it's actually quicker to go Dreams. Again, both just open up the third option that we have to pick, Noise. But Dreams is so much faster. Let me actually take a look. Actually not that much faster, it saves 3 seconds. That's the other plus side of my notes. I've got the time listed. How much time choosing a particular option saves over other options. Okay, so now all we've got to do is place the pillow and start to investigate the dream. This isn't going too badly, but I think we lost... Actually, I think we saved a bit of time. Oh, that's not a good time save. I mistapped. And now Chloe should show up. Yep, perfect. And here's the best part, Chloe now insists that the Mouse King from a fairy tale is the one stealing Penelope's dreams. So she decides to say, hey, let's just put a mousetrap on Penelope's head for the night. So Chloe, despite being really serious, is as immature as Penelope in the end, which is a nice little funny dynamic. And there we go. Time to take a look at the dream and see if it's being stolen. And she just placed the mousetrap. Hecking Chloe. And her dream was stolen again. So that ultimately acts as proof to us that her dreams are being stolen. And it acts as proof to Chloe that the Mouse King isn't the one involved. Oh, I don't know if we're going to save time. Oh, it's going to be close. Can we still be green? Or did I lose too much time? Yeah, we're green. We're green at 15:30. I don't think I actually timed the difference between these two. An expert is much faster, I remember that. But I don't remember how much faster specifically. Either way though, now I've got a dream walk. Normally you'd have to talk to the fortune teller and she'd tell you what ingredients you need for it. But honestly, because I already know what we need the mushroom cookies and we need this bag that we're going to get from Daisy. I can skip all of that. Perfect. Now we just got to go heat it up with the condominium and we can sniff some shrooms and get knocked out and into the dream world. Because basically what Cromwell's told us is that the culprit is using a technique called dream walking, which lets them physically enter dreams and manipulate them. So we're going to do the exact same thing and try and catch them in the act. Now that our shrooms are cooked, we can go sniff them a little bit and have a snooze. Yeah, touch detective Corky. How you going anyway? And we're actually green. 15:30, case 1 part 2, case 1 part 1. You're okay? Yeah, we're green. Hey, Craigle. How are you going? Honestly, I'm going alright. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting a sub 2 today. I shouldn't choke it. I've got my route next to me, so I know what I need to do. Okay, and I need to get the pump first. This is something that I've highlighted in my notes because I used to forget this a lot. Okay, there we go. And we didn't accidentally tap on Funky and lose a few seconds. Oh, you're doing pretty shit. Ah, damn, Craigle. What's going on, if you don't mind me asking? Damn it, I didn't get the teleport glitch. Ah, mental health playing up, that's not a good time, honestly. I had that a little bit last year, and honestly, all I can do is just wish you all the best and say that if you ever need to talk about stuff, I'm here to talk to. This is Park. Okay, before we talk to Chloe, because Chloe's gonna send us on a wild goose chase, we need this butterfly. Everyone's told you that. I suppose that's a good thing though, because it means that you've got a lot of people willing to support you. You don't reach out when you're upset. Honestly, I'm a bit the same. I'm a bit stubborn and I don't like to accept help, but honestly, it's worth doing, Craigle. Because you can't handle everything on your own in the end. Oh gosh, now here's time for the goose chase from Chloe. Yeah, exactly, Corky. Like, so often we just all try and just handle these things on our own, but it's just not enough, honestly. That extra support is so helpful. I don't think I would have gotten through last year if I didn't have friends to talk to. You don't? Yeah, exactly. No, exactly, Craigle. And in the end, it's entirely up to you whether you want to take that help or not. I know friends of mine that have gone through mental health issues, and I could tell they were going through issues, and I tried to reach out to them, but they wanted to just be on their own, and it did work out for them in the end. But at the same time, yeah. Sorry, I guess I'm just a bit too... I've had a bit too much experience with that, I guess, lately. Still no teleport glitch. That one is so inconsistent. I need to work on a setup for that. Okay, I knew it. Giving Cromwell the pump here is faster. I'm sorry I made the discussion a bit dark. It's condominium again. Yeah. This game has really good music and it's not a point and click, really. It sort of is though, because I'm moving around by just tapping along. Like there, I'm just tapping along to try and move around. So the whole point of like why we did all of that wild goose chase was to get witnesses in this world. Is there RNG or differences in each playthrough? Oddly enough, there's no difference in every single playthrough, but there's a little bit of RNG. Like as you see, often I get a number of different options to ask people questions. There's always a particular one that's always faster, and that order is generally conserved. There is one single part in case 3 where order is randomized, and I hate it so much because if you click it wrong, like if you click the wrong option, you lose about 40 seconds to a minute. Like there is one bit of RNG in this game, and it is so punishing if you get it wrong. And in a game that's relatively, like, that could be optimized easily. Oh, hey Spruce, how you going? Yeah, in a game where it could realistically be optimized really well, losing a minute or two just to RNG and a misclick is insane. You alright? Because I'm not actually sure, I haven't seen any of your streams lately, Spruce, but how's the GameCube world record grind going? You managed to bop original or Vapo? Or have I got that completely wrong? I wouldn't be surprised if I've got that completely wrong. I feel like I have seen you... you sort of gave up on world record. After Vapo got 8 minutes faster. Oh, jeez. Heckin' Vapo. He's trying to beat Thanos off the console leaderboards. And again, like, the good thing about this game is, like, you could easily beat originals tasks time, but your game keeps crashing. Yeah, I remember seeing, like, your post in Sharkwood about that. That's just stupidly unlucky. You think you know why? Why do you think that's happening? Ah, that could actually do it, knowing how unstable Char is in the loading menus and stuff. For God's sake, if you mash action when you're talking to the bonus movie, it crashes. If you mash enter or the action button too much when you're entering a location, it can sometimes crash. I've had my fair share of softlocks offline. You might try again soon. Ooh. Yeah, I'm losing track of the story. Basically, we've finally confronted the Dream Thief, but he escaped. And we're too scared to jump off the building, knowing we'll survive still. So we're gonna pop Beatrice after we pumped her up and send her after him. You did a casual playthrough today and it crashed from a button. Oh no. Yeah, it seems like that is probably it. Alright, who is it? So the nice little thing that I absolutely loved about this case was that throughout the main parts of the story, it's building you to think that it's Daisy. And then boom, at that final point, it's actually the pastry chef. Nah, the guy didn't die by jumping off the building. He was alive down at the shopping plaza, and we had to pop Beatrice the bird, and she actually knocked out the thief. How did he survive? Because we were in a dream world, Craigle. When we're in a dream world, we can survive those sorts of drops. It's just that Mackenzie was too scared to do it. She didn't want to jump off, even though she knew she'd survive. Like, this pastry chef had a lot more guts than we did in that situation. Basically, and the thing I absolutely loved was that upon replaying it, if you go and talk around to more people, you actually see so many more hints that the pastry chef was actually the culprit the whole time. Anyway, you got to drop out for a bit. Spill hopefully be back for Ace Attorney. Nice, Spruce. Honestly, I'm looking forward to Ace Attorney so much. Seeing the start of that second case just got me really hyped. Maya's back, and she's potentially killed someone by channeling a murderer. It just seems really cool. But yeah, for anyone who can't read the text as quickly as it's going by, basically she was taking Penelope's dreams and using them to make the sweet dream cake, a popular item at her restaurant or at her bakery shop. But once we confronted her, she apologized, and she's like, okay, here's the peace offering, I'm not going to steal Penelope's dreams anymore. And this is probably the most mature thing I've seen a character like Penelope do in games. So Penelope... is... Yeah, it wasn't real, it was all a dream. But Penelope is essentially saying that, hey, this cake is actually something people really enjoy and get happiness from. So I do want to keep my dreams, but I could always give my dreams to her every now and again so people can still enjoy the cake. I think we might save a bit more time as well here, which will be good. Uh-oh. Oh. I nearly crashed the game. Whenever I do DS, it pushes my computer to the limit a little bit, and I nearly opened up a Google Chrome tab. Sub 32. Not bad, actually. So NG Plus cuts out those sorts of spiels as well. Generally, I think it'd be about 3 to 4 minutes faster, maybe. So sub 150 could be possible for it, because I feel like sub 153, 154 could be very doable in this game for any percent. But yeah, we're on to case 2. Another case involving Penelope, and this one is a lot darker. I'd argue that unlike the last one, which was sort of like a mystery, this one, it's very, very obvious who the culprit is from the beginning. And it sort of just becomes a rescue mission. Like, can we save Penelope from them? This is your favorite? Honestly, same. And I'm so mad because there is a really, really creepy line you can get the culprits to say, but it is slow. It's very slow. I didn't actually write how much time it was. I think, because I've retimed a bit of this lately, I think it's about 3 to 4 seconds I'd lose. Like, this one was a big option. Stars, like choosing stars rather than dolls is very, very fast. Fungi got scared away by the dragon teacup, or dragon teapot. It's a shame because this case, like the same as you, Corky, this is my favourite case, but it's also by far the shortest. It's something like 20 to 22 minutes roughly. Oh yeah, about 25 according to the splits. But it's much shorter than all the other cases, because all the other cases are 30 minutes or more. And then case 3 is always case 3 is the longest, my goodness. Unless I find like a consistent way to get teleport glitch, I think 32 would be the shortest I could ever get it to. And Chloe just essentially scaring Beatrice with, oh no, some thugs have kidnapped her off his meds and demanding $1 million ransom. I'm trying to remember, but I think in Japan, I can't actually remember. I'm pretty sure though, I've been told that it's right there. She actually says fuck off Chloe in Japanese, which is why Chloe says the how rude. But obviously in English, this was meant to be a kid's game for English, even though there's kidnapping and even though there's a fair bit of adult sort of stuff happening, like kidnapping, murder. They changed the lines, for whatever reason. Just because it's like, oh no, kids can't hear the word fuck off. How inappropriate. Also, the order in which I pick these up will lose me like half a second. But I save multiple seconds later on in terms of scrolling through items. So it's always worth picking it up in that order. Handkerchief, photo album, and then coupon. Just because it's the order that the items become redundant. We have to essentially be able to use the coupon in part 2 of this case, so a very long time from now. Whereas the handkerchief, we're going to use it once now and be done with it. And it's done. Oh, whoops, that's my bad. I was meant to grab this first. Put the photo back into the photo album that Chloe stole, and then confront her about it. Okay, I had to make sure I didn't accidentally talk to her because she does move between both sides of that box. And one thing I absolutely love about this is there's a potential soft lock here. If you don't have this interaction with Chloe before doing some stuff at the planetarium, which is a new location we unlock, then the character you need to talk to just doesn't spawn, even if you do the interaction with Chloe afterwards. I think not Nightmares, Lanterns has called it the Missing Man glitch. Yes, ultimately, so we have this conversation with Chloe to not have the soft lock, but we also need the banana peel that she's about to give us, because she stole all of Penelope's bananas which had name tags on it, and we used that to prove that Chloe broke into Penelope's room and trashed it. And even though we collected the banana peel there, we have to do this part or we'll still get soft locked. So she actually has to fall over on the banana peel before we can progress the game. Then we talk to Dover, we show him a picture of Penelope and he tells us that he saw her getting let off to the planetarium. Once we're at the planetarium, that's where we start to begin our infiltration to try and save Penelope. I do recommend, like, if you can somehow get a copy of the game, this game is a lot of fun to play. And it's cool to sort of see the story unravel. Present things, see how people respond to them. Because, like, I've cut out on a lot of stuff just there with Linny. Sorry, Lindsay. Because all I need to do is show Lindsay the book and she progresses the story for us. But you can get a lot of good information out of her as well. How's the game going? Pretty well so far, Lanterns. We're green by a fair bit. And as long as I don't muck up in case 3, I should actually get sub 2. Also, I wanted to say dolls so badly. Dolls is the really creepy response. That just essentially confirms to everyone that these guys took Penelope. So I need to do this. How are you going though, Lanterns? So you've been playing a bit more Stardew Valley lately. How's that been going? You have most of touch percent routed? Whoa. Nice. That is a category that I'd be so tempted to play, but oh my gosh, it is. I can only imagine how hard it'd be to route. Because sometimes it feels like whether people spawn in that bonus episode is just by chance. It feels like so RNG based. In a way it is. Oh no. Lots of RNG in Touch Detective. Just not in any percent, thank goodness. Ah, fuck, I was meant to disable that bot. The bonus episodes are a free-for-all. Oh no. Like, it honestly does not surprise me. I remember trying to do all the bonus episode parts, like, casually, and I was like, yikes. As much as I want to do teleport glitch here, I can't. Okay, let's grab this first. It took you a while to crack them. Oh no. We might have lost a tiny bit of time here compared to PB. Because PB had a pretty good case 2 part 1 splits. Like, by far, the most interesting thing about like touch percent is that because you have to talk to certain characters twice in the bonus episode for different tasks, it just becomes really interesting on when they'll spawn. Will they spawn this time? You're practicing on episode 1 and 2 to get the movement up. Fair enough, honestly. Episode 1 and 2... Oh, we saved a little bit more time. Episode 1 and 2 are the easiest ones to improve on, I think. But I feel like episode 3 is the easiest one to muck up. So getting some consistency with that is by far, like, that would be my #1 priority for me. Just because, like, what is that split? That is 18 minutes. Even though realistically I reckon 16 would be a good split for Case 3 Part 1. EB is 18 minutes. Okay, I actually gotta be careful with this one. I've made mistakes with this. I didn't get the glitch. Now technically I don't need to do this. Okay, I need to actually know what this is. Okay, I don't want to. I made that mistake in PB. That's 4 seconds saved right there. So I don't actually need to give that sandwich to Funky for a while, but I'll do it now just because it removes an item from our list. So we have less things to scroll through later when we need to get to the coupon. And yeah, that's exactly what Case 4 is. Can you tap in the right place of the fleas? Gosh, I got stuck on that. Alright, and here's the final use of the coupon. And then since the item list always resets its scroll when we enter a new area, we don't unwrap the cookies until we get outside of the shop. We need to put the ribbon on him for later, and I will not forget to enter Naked Bones. That is a mistake I make so often that I put it on my splits to remember. So we have this little interaction with them in Case 2. Essentially, he's actually buying clothes for Penelope. Then he passes it off as buying clothes for Lindsay. And after that, they'll both spawn at the planetarium. Okay, now we're at the planetarium, we don't leave. Now it's about breaking Penelope out from this point onwards. Let's bust Penelope out. Damn it, Ludel's song is getting in my head. Dun dun. And now we get to bribe. Now we try and bribe Ludel. Though as usual with Chloe, when she's arrogant like this, she usually makes a huge blunder. I'm trying to actually think of like what case 1 and case 2 would be. I feel like case 2 is collecting the right items and using the right item in the right place. And case 1 is sort of like your typical mystery. Let's find out who done it sort of thing. Yep. And there Chloe goes, making everything worse. She mucked up his organ grinder. Chloe the coward. As usual. I'm not a fan of Chloe. You're back? Nice. Okay, now... Oh, I gotta do this first. Perfect, he's distracted. No! Oh, that was a mistap. A damn commercial. Oh no! Did one of the ad breaks run? Wait a minute, I'm not meant to have ad breaks running. Oh wait, ads when you enter the stream run. Alright, let's destroy this place. Set off a power surge. Don't do this at home, kids. I'm trying to think how this is going. If I can get it down to... If I can get that down to about a 55-40, then I'm looking really good for a sub 2. Like, sub 2 and any percent is not hard to do, honestly. Like, if I'm being completely honest. Oh yeah, exactly, honestly. It's so finicky, the touching in case 4. In Japan, where the touch bubble will be lighter, is tighter is faster. Oh, here's the creepy part. So right now they've turned Penelope into a doll. And he's going to get her a new doll soon. A cute little detective doll. AKA us. So there are actually serious implications if we fail this. The browser froze again? Ah, dang. Okay, so now we got to bust Penelope out. First we're going to muck up the planetarium system so that he's ultimately distracted. So we can sneak Penelope out without him noticing. Turns out the machine's really sensitive to dust, and after Fruit eats our breakfast, he's ready to cop up a lot of things. I do find it sort of poetic that the way the planetarium breaks is that the sun appears in it, especially since he advertises the planetarium as a place you can see the stars without the sun interfering. Welcome back again, Lanterns. Hopefully the browser doesn't freeze this time. And poof, the planetarium is gone. Oh yeah, that is such a good part. Okay, the guy's taken care of, let's get rid of the girl. I need to be really careful with this. I swear this changes even though I know it doesn't. Ah, it's you? They're working on the power lines outside your shop. Damn. Okay, come on, Penelope. Let's go. Let's go before the creepy people catch us. And yikes, she's found us. Come on, let's get away. Maybe. It all depends on case 3 lanterns. If I can get to case 3 with like 35 minutes to spare, I'll be fine. And then now we're in trouble. Now, which item haven't we used yet? How could we stop a crazy maniacal astronomer? With a banana peel. Go, banana peel! Banana peel used slip. It was super effective. Let's get my ass in gear. Oh, I think I might have saved about 10 to 15 seconds. I'm not sure though. Maybe actually 5 to 10. Because generally these little bit of conversation, these recaps after the cases last about 30 seconds. No, yeah, so in the end, Chloe's got in trouble because she broke into Penelope's room and trashed it. 7 seconds saved. Be sure to return the banana peel to Mario Kart. Okay. Longest case. And I've got my route here because, oh my god, I muck this part up so much. For God's sake, like, if I do things optimally in case 3, I could be about a minute ahead after this split alone, I reckon. I think I made 30 seconds of mistakes in PB. Same. This case is just like, what the hell? There is so much like, oh, walk to this place and talk to this person, and then you can go back to the skating ring and progress the story. It's like the complete opposite of case 2, where it was like, collect the items and figure out what to use them for. Also love it how Mackenzie's more worried about the phone than what Chloe's doing in her house. Yeah, the thought bubbles are such a good, like, reflection to Mackenzie. She's a goofy kid herself in a way, even though she acts quite serious on the surface. Oh, yeah, they're good in Touch Detective as well. Especially when she gets the crush on the antique store owner. It's a good laugh, because honestly, if she didn't have such clouded vision, she probably would have realised who he really was. For God's sake, everyone in Touch Detective, like, who's played Touch Detective 2 knows who the Corn Stalker is. It's so goddamn obvious. Just before the Corn Stalker shows up, oh, the antique shop is closed. Every single time. The second the antique store owner finds out about something, Oh, Cornstalk found out about it somehow. What a surprise. I'm actually so sad because I don't think they revealed it in Touch Detective 3 either. So like Mackenzie still doesn't know. Oh, they did reveal it? That is a game I've got to play. I've got to find a way to get it, honestly. Some of my friends speak Japanese, but I know that they've translated. It's been translated already. I'll just need to find a way to get it. But I'll find the patch, get a copy of the Japanese game, and apply it. My friend goes to Japan enough times, he can probably get me a copy, and I can get it from him halfway through the year, hopefully, when I go back to Oz for a little bit. Okay, the options. 2, 3, 2. The absolute difference between case 1 and 2 and case 3 for me. Yeah, I know. I mean, okay. To be fair, Craigle, in like my other runs before I had like a proper live split set up, my case 1 and 2 were actually really good. I've had 50, like before I was using live split, I've had 53-minute end of case 2s. Case 3 I lost so much time in the PB with live splits. But honestly, 23 seconds ahead going into case 3 is actually good, because multiple minutes were lost here, just because I picked the wrong options. So basically what we're doing is we're just trying to convince him that there's a snow fair in his skating park that needs to be saved. But because he's a grown-up, he can't see it. Okay, in order to stop Penelope running away next time I get the owner of the skating ring, I need to give her this. And it's done. I need to shake it a little bit in the menu though before it's warm enough for her. And like you might notice, hey Lambton, how are you going? Yeah, you might notice that I'm not like tapping quickly to move over here, like across the ice, and that's because if I tap the ice, that is something that can be added to the touch list. And that's just a silly way to lose 3 to 4 seconds. You're good? Nice. I'm going alright honestly, but oh, I gotta go to Cromwell next. I'm going alright honestly. Stream's been fun today so far. It's fun to play Touch Detective, and probably it's looking like we'll get sub 2 at this rate. Oh yeah, gosh. This is 5 to 10 seconds I save. Last time I chose the longest option because I'm dumb. No. For God's sake, do you wastes about 10 seconds, picking yes wastes 5 seconds. I'm not sure. Have you seen this game before, Lambton? I'm not I can't remember if you were here the last time I played it. You have not? Ooh. So in the end, this is sort of like a point-and-click adventure mystery game. But in the same way, there's a lot of small optimizations that can be made with good choices, good movement, and good item management. Plus the game has a good soundtrack and it's just fun to play. Even if it is a point-and-click adventure, the characters are likeable. Chloe is considered a kid because she can see the snow fairy and believes in fairy tales. Okay, good. I didn't make a mistake this time. You've considered trying Ace Attorney or Professor Layton speedruns in the past? Ooh. I feel like Ace Attorney would be similar to this speedrun a little bit. Maybe a little bit easier, a little bit more straightforward. Because this has a few glitches in it. But Professor Layton is actually, I will say this much, I've seen a speedrun of it, and it is interesting. It turns out that there's a few different paths you can take in it. Oh, come on. Chloe's annoying at this game. She mellows out so much more in Touch Detective 2, but right now she's like, everything she does gets in the way. Like right now, there are 3 options. The correct option is make it snow, but no matter what we do, we go with Chloe's vote. Because her vote counts as 5. Chloe generally mucks up a lot and gives us a little bits of help every now and again. In Touch Detective 2, she helps out a lot more than she mucks up horribly. Mainly because that's Inspector Daria's job in Touch Detective 2. Okay. Now Funky's gonna go get us a lot of food so we can fatten Barnaby up. If he's not losing a lot of weight, oh gosh. I was cracking my knuckles. That's a really dumb way to lose time. Fortunately, that doesn't compare to the minutes I lost last time. I love it, our pet's there shivering and we don't care. But the food that we're giving Barnaby is really cold. So because he's chilly, he decides to make the ice skating ring warmer, which is bad for the fairy. Okay, I gotta be careful, this is where I accidentally press the item usually. Phew. Both the rail and the ice in that area count as touchless items, and that wastes time if I touch either of them. Let alone both of them, which I've done before. That was not fun seeing like 15 to 20 seconds lost because of that, and a combination of other things I accidentally touched. Yeah, this time we warm the food up so that he won't get cold from eating it. Okay, and I gotta go... I forgot, I gotta go low. Such an annoying thing that happens there. I can't go up the top there and give him the food. I have to be below the hole in the ice skating ring. And even though he eats it, he's feeling really sick. And the reason why, it's 10 years past the expiration date. In the end, they're all heavily expired, which means that he's getting food poisoning. And that's why he's been losing weight, because he's been throwing up from all the terrible food he's been eating. The reason why he keeps eating them is, oh, because I can win a contest. Yet, all of the contests are over. Just like a local grocery store. Okay, now let's talk to Penelope again. So Fat and Barnaby Up failed, and instead of them making it snow like both Penelope and I wanted, Chloe is going to insist that we do a different strategy. She's going to insist that we do the second strategy, find a cold place. Fortunately, this one's a little bit quicker than trying to fatten Barnaby up. We just have to go talk to the pastry chef, and she offers for us to use her freezer. But because she's got a lot of food in her freezer, we're going to throw a pastry party first. Get her a bit of extra business. He went to get a frozen bag of vegetables and they garbed back. Oh gosh. Yeah, in order to run this pastry party for her, we got to spread the word. And there's a very specific list of people. And I've got the list of people. We have to talk to Dover and get that touchless item. This should be the... Oh, whoops. I need to talk to... No! I tapped Funky! Damn it! That is the worst one to tap. Okay, let's do the glitch. Like the glitch there, it just lets me teleport from the fountain because the game thinks that I'm stuck in some position that I can't get out of. So it just teleports me to my goal. I know that it works there at the fountain to get into the fortune teller's shop. It also works at the couch in the office in order to get into Cromwell's room. But for the Cromwell's room one, I haven't been able to get that consistently. But yeah, in terms of the pastry party, there's a very specific group of people we need to speak to. We need to talk to this guy as well. And we need to talk to Penelope. And then I think all that's left is Cromwell and Lindsay. Yeah. So Lindsay from the last case. And then Cromwell back at the office. Okay, let's try it. Damn it. Okay. And that little prompt there confirms to us that we talked to everyone that we needed to. We come back here, we take the hot sauce because we'll need that. And perfect. Now all we've got to do is quickly grab a hot dog and then guide the fairy to the cold place. But not before we pull a little bit of a prank and swap the ketchup with the hot sauce. Let's get a hot dog. Let's get a hard bun. Just one hot dog, we're not greedy. Basically, it's giving you all those options, but the only one he ever accepts is hard and one. The rest he just tells you off for picking the wrong type of bun and the wrong number of hot dogs. But that switch actually helps us for two reasons. First, it lets us put the ketchup on the hot dog. And it sets up the hot sauce for a prank that we need it for later. Yeah, he only accepts a certain type of them. I think this is the end of part 1 now. Yeah, geez, we might be about a minute ahead. We're going to save about 30 seconds. Jeez. We saved 25 seconds on that split. Yeah, that's a pog. That's a big pog. The worst part is I won't know if we're on sub 2 pace because I forgot to split at the end of case 3 in PB. So we're going to have to wait until halfway through case 4 to know. But if we finish case 3 with more than 32 minutes left, sub 2 should be guaranteed. So a 128 or more, or a 128 or less, and we're guaranteed. Because I won't choke up case 4 enough for it to be 32 minutes. It's 30 to 31 at worst. That's the prank. You believe? Hopefully. But yeah, so the whole goal of that was he essentially got a hot dog with the hot sauce on it. Overheated, came back in here and cooled down the place again for the snow fairy. So now we got to get Chloe because Chloe had a tantrum and stormed off. Oh no, I'm not going to make the mistake I made last time. That cost me a bit too much time, to say the least. I'm going to get the portable snow machine. And try the glitch again. No, it didn't work. Can I get the machine? Thank you. Now all we've got to do is convince Chloe to come back, and she's actually hiding right here. Wait, what? Oh, whoops, my mistake. I need to talk to Penelope first. That was dumb. I forgot. Basically, she says that the fairy isn't cursing Chloe, he's calling for her. And then Chloe spawns here. And that's the best part of it. It turns out that Chloe and the fairy are both insulting each other right then and there. We can't see or hear the fairy, unfortunately, because we're a little bit too mature compared to those two. You love it. To be honest, I really wish we could actually hear the snow fairy. I can understand not being able to see him, but at least let us hear. Because like there could have been some good banter between Chloe and the fairy there. And now we're finally starting the plan that we know actually works. Summoning an angel and making it snow. A little bit of strokes of Chloe where she actually helps us, i.e. she finds a way to somehow summon a fairy. We're coming up to the RNG section, unfortunately. And so we had to do that just so that Chloe would spawn there, and so now she'll be here. Yeah, RNG. Last time I got top and top, but I doubt I'm getting top and top this time. top and top is the best outcome because, at least for me, I always look from the top downwards. So seeing the right answer as the first option both times was ideal. If it's 4 and 4, that's just terrible because I have to read through them all twice. Basically, Chloe's still in trouble for what she did in case 2, breaking in and trashing Penelope's room. So she can't sneak past Beatrice and get to the roof where we need to do the ceremony. But Beatrice trusts us, so we can somehow get up to the roof and distract her well enough for Chloe to sneak in. To do that, we're going to give her a nice hot dog, plenty of sauce on it, so she feels both tired and makes a mess. She'll go do her washing. We'll immediately come back and that ends the washing. And so by doing that, she takes up her laundry to the roof and guarantees that she'll take a nap right afterwards. Perfect. Now we're going to go tell Chloe, hey, it's all clear, Beatrice is asleep, we've got access to the roof, come on up and set up. What I find insulting though, is that we saw Chloe leave the fortune teller's area a couple minutes ago, 2 minutes ago. And she has already forgotten the spell needed to summon the angel. Chloe is a massive 2-head at times. And this is probably the grandest moment. So this is sort of where the RNG comes in. We find out what the spell is just by asking around. And we have to fill in the blanks for her while she summons it. Chloe, you 2-head. The worst part is the fortune teller doesn't tell us, but we still have to talk to her. Set up the glitch again. There we go. That teleport glitch for the fountain works best in this case. This is when you go to the fortune teller the most. I think we have to talk to her 3 times. And it saves a combined 7 or 8 seconds or something. No. Tap the menu by mistake. And so Lindsay knows the first part of it, Miracle Angel, and then Cromwell knows a good chunk of the rest of it. And then afterwards we go confront the fortune teller because it turns out the spell is just a song from a kid's TV show. She tells us essentially that because Chloe's so 2-head and believes in those TV shows, the spell will actually work. one of those she believes in it, so it'll actually work. And the pastry party's ready. Oh, come on. There we go. Yes. And so we need to do this interaction not only to find out that the spell's fake, well, fake in the sense that it's from a kid's show, but also because we need to fix up the last part of it. It's not la la lu, it's la di la lu la. And so she corrects us on the very last part of the spell, and then we can go do it. And yes is faster even though we don't understand it. And I love this. It's best to match the spell to her intelligence. A nice simple spell from a kid's show for Chloe. Because she's because she's too dumb. Yeah, woof. No! Damn it, okay. Now we're on to just RNG and that's it. Okay, RNG time, as long as I don't make a mistake here. This could be a good case 3 time. Number 2. And 1. Okay. That was decent RNG at least. And it turns out that the spell doesn't actually summon an angel. It just transforms someone into an angel. And there we go. Penelope the angel makes it snow. Longest case done. I don't think it's going to be sub 128 though. Which means it's going to be close. Yeah, nah, because there's still a fair bit to go. Snow Fairy's left, he's gone home. But then Chloe had some secret conversations with him. After which Chloe was visibly blushing. It turns out that they're in love with each other, the fairy and Chloe. No, not sub 128. Yeah, young love. And now Chloe wants to become an angel so she can go visit the Snow Fairy early. Okay, last case. Here we go. I've got 31 minutes and 30 seconds to beat it. This case was, I will say, very interesting to route originally. You believe. Just because there's a particular item that we need, a battery, and we can either get it at the absolute beginning of the whole case, and then after that, we can't get the battery until right before we need it. So we'd be in the middle of doing something and we just have to flat out leave, go get this random item and come back. Or at the very beginning, we can just leave and come get the item and come back. That's a little bit quicker than being well into a place and having to leave. It's actually interesting, I think. I didn't actually write a time on it. And so Penelope's scared because she saw a murder take place at the circus. Even though, like, I don't know, I think they shouldn't have called this assault. Because it got rid of such the deep and dark connotations that came from like this murder talk at the beginning. Like Penelope's scared, Mackenzie's like, ooh, this is actually a bit nerve-wracking. And here comes Cromwell's really freaky statements. He's like, oh, everything's fine, it's probably not a murder. But then there's a slight chance a murder did occur, so take care. Okay, we'll take that stamp card because we need it. No! Look at that. Tell me more. And then we don't literally need anything else from this conversation. And we need that for the sole reason that if we don't talk to Penelope and hear her side of the story, the game doesn't actually let us go anywhere else. Okay, and this is where we make our sidetrack. Before I open that letter, I'm gonna go get the battery that I need. Because Dover there is really important to getting this battery. And he disappears once I open that card. Because I get a laughing bag for collecting all the stamps, and then Dover gets the shits at the laughing bag and breaks it. And the only thing that can be salvaged from is a single battery. Yeah. I feel like that was close to getting it. Thank you for the battery, Cromwell. I'll just pick this up too. This is something I forgot to pick up in the PB, so it'll save a little time. This is, yeah, the battery. Okay. So in short, the circus master got a threatening letter. And now we get put onto the case by the circus master to solve this blackmail and murder case. Or what, it was really a blackmail and assault case. And it's actually pretty serious though, even though it's not a murder. Circus member A is in a coma after the assault incident. So now we're going to investigate and see anyone who might have a potential motive. Really, we can ask a lot of people about the circus, but this is the person who gives us the info. She tells us that the fortune teller was there. And she was pissed off at the circus master for some reason. And after confronting her, we find out that she actually used to be a circus performer. And so do a number of other people we've encountered in the previous cases. So we ask her about the other ex-circus members. We find out the guards outside the fortune teller place are also there. There's Lugal, the guy who plays the organ grinder, Dover, Beatrice, so the bird from the condominium, and Shorty who sells hot dogs. No! Uh-oh. Well, that's time lost. Uh-oh. Yikes, I think I picked the longest option as well. Oh no. Oh no. There we go. Get out of there. We only need to hear about the ex-circus members before another assault happens. Yeah, assault happens. Yeah, him with that angry look just confirms it's already happened. And turns out Johnny, the star of the circus, got hurt as well. Now he's been attacked. Yeah, it's monk-ass a little bit now. That was a little bit of time lost. Again, I have no idea if I'm on sub 2 pace. Damn it, I gotta stop cracking my knuckles. Okay, time to investigate the assault. And it turns out that this whole crime scene right here is a fabrication by Chloe. It's not actually where the murder or assault happened. But hey, we get some crime scene tape from it all. Circus Master isn't happy though with her sticking tape everywhere. Yeah, colon D. Or D colon. I said the wrong one. Yes, it turns out that the murder victims were fleas. Not people, fleas. Yeah. That's why I said the second case was the best one, because it had like actual serious... Well, it had actual serious consequences to it. Serious consequences in the sense that if if we mucked up, Penelope would have stayed kidnapped and permanently turned into a doll, and so would we. Okay. And I used this so I can actually hear the fleas talk. And so the game tries to hint to us that that's what we should do, but I already know. Now this is when we need the battery, and this would have been the next time that we could have picked up the battery. So it was much faster just to pick it up earlier. We need this to show that this is how Penelope somehow saw a large shadow collapse. Now we go tell Penelope that it was just a flea the whole time. Wasn't a person, and she's all fine. The murderer isn't going to come after her and try and clean up the evidence. Okay. But what we've got to actually do first now is we've got to catch the culprit. Who hurt that other? Who was hurting the other fleas? Oh gosh. And it turns out it was actually Punk the whole time. This other flea who was attacking the superstars. So that he could be the star and manage to escape the circus. Yeah, Punk. What a punk he is. Can't believe he'd do that. He's so selfish. The circus master hearing this, like we are, is so pissed. So he locks Punk in jail. There we go. He's been locked into the training room where he can be trained not to jump, which means he can't escape. And if he can't escape, he'll have no motivation to attack anyone anymore. Yeah, gosh. And there we go. We solved it. Punk was the one who was assaulting the other fleas. We did it. Let's go reassure Penelope that the culprit has now been caught as well. So she's fine and safe. Isn't this animal cruelty? It is. But he honestly doesn't care. Yeah, we smashed Sub 2. Like, geez, unbelievable. Gosh, Sub 2 was so easy. Oh, jeez. This is what I meant by it was so free. Hey, we did it. And it's credits time. Done. Wait. Oh, my global hotkey didn't work. Let me figure out how to split. Well, either way, Lanterns can probably figure it out from the video when what the final time was. How do I split? Live splits? Where is it? Hacking live splits. Damn it, where is it? No, I can't even find where it is. Damn it. Ah, heck, I can't find it. Oh, wait. The case hasn't been solved yet. Oh yeah, we're on sub 2 pace. Yeah, debated. The game debates you halfway through the final case. Yeah, 158 pace. And now that we've done the gramophone once or twice, we don't actually have to do it anymore. So we can just tap the box and that counts as listening. Okay, so now we've got to investigate the box. Wait, what the? There we go. It turns out Punk's actually still alive in there. Okay, and I actually mucked up. I tried to do something a little bit early. Okay. I needed to do those 3 things so that I got the prompt that the box was a sealed room, and then I can investigate Punk and find out that the fleas are in danger. So now we just hide the rest of the fleas inside the flea house so that they'll be safe. And there's Circus Master A, stuck behind the door. Okay. Now that the fleas are evacuated and we've got assaults happening in a sealed room, we're going to need a bit of help. So, we go get help from Chloe. So, we needed that sealed room prompt, because the second we say sealed room to Chloe, that's when she wants to help us. Oh, Chloe's glitching a little bit. Good. Phew, and that's the last time I think we have to deal with that bad potential prompt there. So now they've come to help us out. And yeah, this is what Lanterns meant earlier when he said that case 4 is a lot of precise tapping. You gotta tap on the right flea, and if you don't tap on the right flea, you waste time. Like right now, it turns out that they've been shaked somehow, the fleas, and that's what's been contributing to it. But you don't quite know what's happening yet specifically. This prompt ends up doing it. The boy flea comes out and starts working on his act to try and save the circus. But what it actually turns out is the other fleas sent him out there to be a decoy, because they're jerks. Mackenzie flicks the box. And they feel like they're being shaken around. This is when Mackenzie figures it out. So what the culprit's actually doing is, the fleas that are locked inside the training room, they're grabbing the box and shaking it, tossing the fleas around, startling them and hurting them a lot. So, to protect the rest of the fleas from being shaken, we tape their house to the box. they're all safe. Uh-oh. Someone dropped an anvil on the houses. So now all the fleas are dead. And what's actually happened? Yeah, the poor fleas. It's actually a bit of a sad... Oh, I want to say a sad moment, but the fleas that were left in the house were jerks. So it turns out that the culprit was actually just outside this room. He dangled the anvil over and then cut it, nearly hitting Penelope in the process. So now all that's really left in the case is to scare Penelope and Chloe off so we can finish it off. So we've scared off Penelope, and now this part will scare off Chloe. Like, now we're essentially set. So we've got 10 minutes left, can we do it? So it turns out the fleas saw different culprits. Some saw a frog, some saw a princess, some saw a prince. This is where Chloe, again believing in fairy tales, thinks that the frog is clearly the prince. That's the thing. Chloe makes that connection. She thinks it's based on the Frog Prince story. And because she's so arrogant and thinks she's right, she runs off to try and prove her theory true. And then we can finally continue. We're at the end game now though. Once Chloe's gone, we'll get a prompt from the circus master to just go get the culprit. I mean, there is a connection, Lanterns, but Chloe is going off on the wrong lead altogether. She's trying to find like an actual princess or a prince that's the culprit, instead of who it actually is. She's like, definitely the Frog Prince does have links to the case. Wait, what am I doing? It's the box. It's the box and then the boy. So the boy's trying to save the circus. No! I will not be Chloe's prince. For a few reasons, actually. Number one, I don't like her. Number two, she's underage. Yeah, oh. First reason's funny, second reason is Monka TOS. I don't know. There we go. Yeah, number two is very important. So it turns out the circus master's come up with a new strategy for dealing with this assault problem. He just keeps getting more fleas. So now he won't listen to us unless we go get the culprits. To him, the case is solved. He'll just keep getting fleas as they keep getting attacked. But yeah, that ultimately gives it away. The fact that I came here when it was go find the culprit. The culprit's Dover. And the really dumb thing about this is I have to say no in order to be able to tell him who the culprit is. Because if I say yes, He's just like, oh, go get them then. Every time you picture the frog, for some reason you see the Yoshi's Island frog boss. So now we get Dover's backstory in the end. So it turns out that Dover is actually a tattoo performist, whatever the term is. He has tattoos of the frog, princess, and prince, and acts out the frog prince. And it turns out, though, that a flea bit him on one of the tattoos, and he got laughed out of the circus. Unfortunately, Dover's a lot scarier than we are, and if he gets pissed off, he is going to attack us. So we need to keep waking the circus master up, who really doesn't care about Dover's backstory at all. Use your words, Dover. He is using his words. He's using his words to make the circus master fall asleep, so that he can then execute his revenge. And he's just fallen asleep again. But this time he's stuck asleep. Clever girl. Oops, sorry. I burped. Hey Dover, in case you didn't realise, using a bat to try and kill a flea is not a good idea. Ah, you meant clever girl? Yeah, Pog. The boy flea escaped. By the way, this is something we didn't get to see in the speedrun. It turns out that the circus master is a master animal tamer, and Carbonog, the most dangerous animal in the world, was his incredible feat that the circus master could tame him. He's been missing for a long time, Carbonog, and it turns out he's been under the circus master's hat the whole time. Dover just wants to hide him, but we want to complete our touch lists. Tapping Carbonog wakes Carbonog up, and there goes Dover. Bye, Dover. And the little boy flea. And there goes the boy flea. After everything he did. The circus master kills him. Ah, this should be sub 2 easy. This could even be sub 159 possibly. But now we find out that Dover actually got back to the circus. Here we go. We just finished our 4th case. We're going to be a detective. We just got to send off our investigation report. But what? He sent our blue journal, which was our touch lists. So the Great Detective Society, instead of getting our notes on our investigations, got our ratings on the feel of things. There we go. World record. And sub 2 hours. Oh, there we go. Oh Oh yeah, the credits is a nice banger. And we get to see everyone from all the cases. Oh, thank goodness. So, jeez. Thank you for the bits, lanterns. Wait, I'm very close to yours. Did I nearly bop your NG plus time? Jeez. Okay, then NG plus world record should be a guarantee, hopefully. Oh, Pog for sure, honestly. Yeah, that's a nice solid world record. Oh, that actually nearly did pop my NG plus time. Actually, 249. Take out the tutorial. Oh no, that's still not close to world record. But it does pop my NG plus time. Essentially. I reckon, because NG plus saves a fair bit of time, I reckon I could get NG plus world record. I'll probably try and do that next time. And that's where the name of the game comes from.